Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Apex Racing TV for the Grand Prix 247.com Star Mazda F1 series. It's the finale. We're at Interlagos here. It's a great day for racing. Before we get started, just wanted to say my thoughts with everybody over in Paris. Absolute disastrous news overnight. Very, very terrible, and I just hope if you've got friends, family over there, everybody's safe. And just terrible. Any more about that? We'll move on to the racing. We've got just a little over 3 minutes worth of qualifying left. Alex Simpson, by the way, here, Apex Racing TV. Championship's all but wrapped up after the final round. Round number 9, Scott Newton took a lead that could not be caught up. He's in the McLaren 88 spec car there, and he's currently sat on pole position as well. 109 points for Scott Newton, with Vladimir Marchevsky in second place, 73 points. Very, very close between him and Kent Walker. Marchevsky's just got the advantage in qualifying at the moment. We'll bring those up, but you can see them on the ticker at the top. Josh Anderson not here today. Good chance he's doing the V8 Premier Series, we believe. A lot of the Australians perhaps around for that one. Aaron Hamilton in 5th place, just a few points behind Josh, so he could jump up. And a good race today would also see him potentially jump up into 2nd place as well, but really he needs rivals to retire. Andrew Stokes. Andrew's been very consistent all season into 6th place, while our host Fuji Sartano is in 7th in the Williams Renault. Alex Marshall, we haven't seen Alex for a little while. He's been doing a lot of work in the background for Apex Racing TV, so we appreciate that. And job, real life commitments getting in the way there. 8th place, James Keane in 9th, and Dan Benningfield, who won the last race. So dramatically, I say dramatically, he smashed everybody, I think, in that race. So he's not here for this one, but he's in 10th place in the championship. Looking at the team's championship, here's of course the McLaren 88 car that also leads that on 148 points, with Jaguar in 2nd place on 90 points. So that championship all but locked up as well. Sauber in 3rd, just 1 point behind, so there's the potential there to get a jump, with Benetton in 4th and Toro Rosso rounding out the 5th. Right, we've got 40 odd seconds to go. Let's just take a quick look at the provisional standings. Might be a few changes, but right now it's Scott Newton who is currently sat on your pole position. Aaron Osborne just half a tenth of a second behind, and Marchevsky not too far back from there. Tim Ballinger just 2/10 of a second. Great to see Tim in here. Kent Walker half a second back, so a little gap there from the top 4. Then Kevin Hung in 6th place. We've got Stephen in 7th, Adrian Jarvis in 8th, and Fuji, it doesn't look like he's set a very good lap right now. Hopefully he can pick that up. On to our final lap. Where is... Oh, we've got a spinner there. Just jump on board, or just jump with Fuji at the moment. He needs to get this lap in, really. It needs to be a good one. Final attempt, checker flag is out. Quite a long run up to the start finish line in these little Pro Mazda cars. It's how quick they have got a fair bit of downforce on them, but yeah, when you're used to obviously seeing the F1s tear up and down there. A slight improvement, 139, but really struggling out there, so going to be a difficult race for Fuji. Drivers we've got on the track at the moment is Stephen. Where's Kent? Kent's going to come across first. Kent ducks into the pits. And he's going to try and complete his lap. So far the best, 135.6 that he needs to beat is outside that, 135.9, so no improvement for Stephen. So the grid pretty much is as we said earlier on, but to confirm that once again, Newton takes the pole, 133.274, followed by Aaron Osborne. Actually ended up tenths of a second, so Scott must have improved right at the death there as well. Vladimir Marcheski just closely behind Scott, and Tim Ballinger behind him as well. Kent Walker 8/10 of a second back in 5th place, followed by Kevin there just 1 second back. Stephen is 7th, Adrian is 8th, and pretty much confirms what we thought we would see on the grid in place there. So yeah, no changes, everybody stayed where they were, although Scott did improve. Final few drivers to make their way to the grid. Shout out and thanks to the sponsors, GrandPrix247.com. They've supported Fuji all through the season. Great to have them on board. Don't forget to go check out their website if you want some up-to-date F1 news. Technical issue actually, stream not coming up. Try and sort that out. A live stream, I do apologise, I'm going to post the link. Those that might not have seen it. Forum. Drivers are starting to build, drivers are getting ready. Here we go then, lights are out. Interlagos. Terrible start from Scott, drops way down to 4th place. Man on the move is Aaron Osborne, great start from him. Absolutely flying out there. Leapt off the line, that half a second, or 4/10 of a second gap can count for anything when you get a good start like that. Vladimir Marcheski up into 2nd place as well. Tim Ballinger in 3rd, and then Scott and his McLaren all the way down in 4th place. Have a quick little look further back. Kent Walker maintained his position there. He's got Kevin in the Ferrari just closely following him at the moment. Stephen behind him. Definitely going to be a great track for draft, I think. We'll definitely see a lot of draft battles, and that's Kevin just trying to put a little move on. Thought about it for a moment. Fuji really is struggling out there. Just not sure what his issues are, but car looks terrible. Way back. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Vladimir and our race leader Osborne. Newton trying to move his way up as well. Racing all around, here comes Marcheski. He's going to try and move around the outside. That's never easy there, and almost gives a place up to Aaron's teammate. Ballinger will want to try and get in there just to help his teammate out there. Oh, so close, wheel to wheel action. just about holds on to it. He's going to have the high ground here. Marcheski's going to have to concede. Is he going to try and stick it around the outside? Just can't quite maintain enough speed to do that. Marcheski run back on Ballinger, carrying a little bit more speed, using the slipstream. Oh, there's contact there. Somehow they both managed to survive, but not good at all. A little bit late on the braking for Tim. I think Tim's perhaps carrying a little bit more downforce out there. See the damage there on the left-hand side of Marcheski's car. Sideboard damage there. Going to be good for Sauber. They want to try and pick up a few places today. Under pressure now from Kent Walker. Walker looks like he's got his nose up the inside. Just see Marcheski going to slip back now. Scott Newton also pitted, so perhaps wanting to get out of the traffic. See if he can just swap up the strategy a little bit. Kevin all over the back of that Sauber right now. Gonna get a good run. Look at the exit. Much better exit. Doesn't even need the slipstream. Vladimir will pit, see if he can get some of that damage repaired. Yeah, it does look like he's gonna duck in this time. Didier does. Sorry about that, just something going on with our timing screen, just so we can get a bit of correct information on gaps and whatnot. Just a little restart there. Recap then of your order. Osborne from Ballinger, Walker up to third. Great race so far from Walker. Kevin fourth in the Ferrari. Stephen in fifth. Marcheski is in sixth. But he has pitted, so he's dropped himself down to 8th now. Fuji's 9th. Scott, after his pit stop, is in 7th. So Scott's sort of 20 seconds back. So have to keep an eye on how that goes. Can make good ground. Kent Walker. Kevin having a good little battle. Walker up the inside, tries it in turn 1. Kevin's good on the brakes. No chance there. Front battle starting to get tasty between the two teammates as well. On the gaps that we saw on the grid, I expected to bigger margins really out there, but yeah, the slipstream really helping to keep this grid really close. Even just trying to hang on, he needs to keep it within sort of 1.5 seconds to get full advantage of the draft. Adrian Jarvis unfortunately now seems to have dropped out of it. He's 2.4 seconds back from Stephen, so outside the range. Not good for the Toro Rosso driver there. Front battle's great at the moment, so been missing a little bit in the series. But here comes Kevin on Aaron. Thought for a minute he was just going to stick his nose in there, and Aaron just closed the door pretty quickly there as well. Here we go. Great run down the straight. Kent having a little look as well. No way through this time. Stephen still dropping back. 1.6 seconds now is the gap. They need to push. Close that hard way around the outside. Very difficult. Could end up losing a place to Walker behind. Walker just a little bit too far back to get his nose on the inside, but late on the brakes. Into the tricky right-hander drivers using all the curb here. Very wide there from Kent. Slightly different line. All these guys battling. Actually, he has brought Stephen back into it as well. This is just what he wants. Osborne 1.3 seconds up the road now as well. Slowly pulling away. Have a quick look at what Scott's doing. Scott just coming out the final corner now. 1:33.9 last time by. I wouldn't say exactly the quickest, and we've had a problem with Osborne. Osborne dropped down to second place, and it's Ballinger in first. They're playing with me with their team liveries out there. Walker. Oh, that looks good. Late on the brakes. Just got himself up and by. Kevin trying to fight back. He's not going to be able to do it. All season long, Kent's been very, very quick in the race. Just doesn't seem to be able to stick a lap down in qualifying that will get him towards the front of the grid, and always moves his way forward. These two just separating away really quickly all of a sudden. Tim and Aaron, it's just like they've checked out all of a sudden. In top gear because 1.7 seconds, it just goes to show what a little bit of battling can do. Kevin's not going to give this place up. I do think Kent's quick enough to close in on Osborne and Tim, so Kevin will just want to give it a lap or two, see if he can do that before he starts attacking him. Goes for a move, there's going to be no chance. Not going to happen. He wants to get by straight away. Oh no, he does tuck back in. So Osborne closing in on Tim very, very quickly. What's bringing him, he's using the draft really from his teammate there to help him pull away from Kent and Kevin behind. 0.8 seconds, they're almost outside the draft now. Yeah, Kent's very quick through that corner. Just watching the live timing intervals as well. Catches up 0.2 of a second through that corner as well, and he was able to put the move on Kevin so great there as well. So 1:34.4 for our leader that time by Newton, a 1:33.7. So he's definitely going to gain track position once this is all done and dusted. Kevin really now just dropped back a little bit. No chance to make a move this time by. Kent's really stepped it up this lap. That gap has come down to Aaron Osborne to 1.1 seconds as they cross the line. Tell you what, going into that corner is an awful lot closer. Through the centre S, down to 0.8 of a second, so it's got some serious pace. Definitely think Kent's perhaps carrying a little bit more downforce. Doesn't seem to be able to close any down the straight. If anything, the guys are pulling away without him in the draft, just looking at the live speeds, but through the corners he's so quick. Ballinger doing a great job out the front at the moment. Good consistent pace. Low times do seem to be falling off. Check the weather very quickly. Temp's a little bit hot out there, 40 degrees. Wouldn't have thought the times would have fallen off though. The Mazda usually gets a little bit quicker. On board for a second with our race leader. Always good to see a nice clear track out front. Again, that lap pulled away massively from his teammate, 1.9 seconds. Kent Walker's already up and past, so not sure what happened to Osborne there. Let's put that back on replay just to see if we can find out what happened. Maybe a slowdown or something there. Already massively under pressure coming out the final corner there. Back a tiny bit further. See, right now they sort of through the infield section, no real issues. Losing ground. See a slowdown or anything there. The car doesn't look out of shape. Very odd, just all of a sudden, just yeah, 1.5 seconds or something he just lost there. 35.6 was the lap. Going to stay with this battle because Walker's going to get the run. Switch it back to live. Yeah, Kent didn't get much of a slipstream there, but he was still able to get by. Right, back live we go. What that's done is brought Kevin back into it. He was just starting to drop back a little bit in the Ferrari. Tag on to Aaron for everything. Stephen now in 5th place is some 4 seconds back on this. 6 seconds back on the leader. That just goes to show once you lose the draft, really is no way back. Got Newton moves himself back up and past Adrian Jarvis, so into 6th place, 14 seconds back from the lead. 134.1, so another 0.3 of a second closed in on the leaders. Line out there at the moment. You can see that livery absolutely smashed this race that many times, but did it a few times, especially with a yellow helmet there as well. If only Scott was Brazilian, the fans would be going absolutely nuts right now. Right, back to this 3-car battle. Kent Walker leads this. He is losing ground on Tim. Now let's see what the lap times are. I'm guessing Aaron's had a couple of looks. Thinking about it again, needs more defending from Kevin. There is a bit of speed in there. maintains that position. But yeah, even in the draft he had to defend from Kevin, so Kevin's got some speed in that Ferrari. We saw him have a couple of attacks on Kent earlier on. 0.7 seconds, yeah, well, 34.9 for Kent that lap, so considerably slower than what he's done for a little while. 0.4 of a second, Tim was able to pull out 2.7 seconds now, so Tim has broke the draft. If he has the pace to pull a gap, then should be able to work it and just pull away a little bit this next little few laps of the race. Pit stops are going to be due any time, I would think. Pit window certainly open. We've seen that with Scott pitting on, I think, lap 3. Again, onto the straight. Again, really, he's got the pace. Let's see what he does on lap time this time by 1:34.1 for Tim. Really, Tim is starting to stretch his legs out there now. Pulls away another 0.2 of a second. Not under any pressure from behind. Walker 34.3, so much better lap time. Bringing the pack with him. Good pit stop here, mind you. Really could see him close that gap back up again. So got Newton closing in on Stephen as well, 3.4 seconds back. Kevin around the outside of Osborne, can't make it stick. It's possible to see that. We saw a couple of moves in the Pro Series around there, so need to have hell of a run. Really squeeze the driver on the inside, but he can't run out wide to his normal line. Kevin's closer than he's been for a while now. To think, oh, it just gets a little bit too much of the curb there, and actually it looks like he's damaged his wing just slightly with that. Absolutely clobbered it. Car got all sorts of unstable as well, and went from, what was that, 0.2 of a second behind all the way to 0.7. It's actually Osborne who's got a run this time on Walker. Hasn't got to worry about Kevin behind him. Is he going to be able to make a move? No, he's not. And this battle starts to close back up. Osborne definitely looks quick. Leaders had some issues this lap as well, because they really have maybe 6 or 7 of a second this lap they've closed in. On board with Osborne, he just hasn't got enough straight line speed as well. And we can hear Fuji in the back there as well, just on the right side. Yeah, it was having a run every time, and just oh, getting out of shape over the curb. Everybody just takes some evasive action. He's going to lose his second place here. 2 places just gone, just like that. trying to hold on to the position from, oh, he's late on the brakes, just about managed to get the car stopped from hitting Osborne. That's a great move there, that's great driving, confident that he could do what he needed to do there. Kevin gave him the room to duck back in as well. Well, that's once again done. Ballinger, I did have a bad lap that last one, 135.7. But with all of that went on there in that first corner, or sorry, coming out of the centre S, letting back 3.3 seconds away. So bad lap from Tim, but a worse lap from Walker and the guys chasing. Really is let him disappear away again. I'm trying to break the draft. Want to give Kent any help he can get. And is very good on the brakes down there, but Kevin got a great exit there as well. That's that overtake done. One mistake from Kent. He was closing back in on the leader. He knows he's probably the quickest of the three drivers as well, so very, very frustrating for him right now. An opportunity, I would say, for a win, but Scott Newton is now just 9 seconds back from the leader, and he has already pitted, so keep an eye on lap times. They cross the line. Our race leader, 134.476. Osborne with a 6.48, so that's another 0.2 for Tim. Tim will be happy with the pace at the moment. 34.2 for Kevin. Definitely closed right back up on the gearbox of Aaron. Gent Walker, 34.7. Obviously losing that place to Kevin, not going to help Tim. Oh, just slightly out of shape there. Newton did a 33.6, so 0.8 of a second closed on the leader this lap. He's absolutely flying. Well, if they're going to make it, they're going to need to pit in at the end of the next lap. See what Tim does. If he can't make it, if it is that 1 lap, 2 laps short on fuel, and I expect him to pit in this lap. Eye on Tim. Is he going to duck into the pit lane? Is he going to be able to make it halfway? Oh, it doesn't look like he's coming in at all. Or maybe he is. No, he's not. He's going to be able to go to 50% distance. So Newton ducks off strategy. Actually wanted to make it exciting for us. We do have some in the pits, I think. Yeah, Kevin and Aaron both in. So those guys are not going to be able to make it unless they can just eke out another lap of fuel. Or maybe it's so easy on fuel that you just need the one stop. I could always be wrong with that. We've called this one before where it's going to be expected a 2 stop, and it was just very, very easy to do a 1 stop. Could be that we might see Tim run all the way towards the end of the race. Got Newton now up into third. He's cleared those guys by an absolute mile. Osborne coming out now. You got Newton right in the midfield section of the track as well, so that just goes to show how much he's gained in that stint. So after the bad start, maybe it was just a ploy to get out of the pack and can break the draft by doing that as well. Use the clean track, pull a margin. Same vein, Kent's now got no one around him as well. He can bang some really good laps in. See what he can do to catch Ballinger. Ballinger is 6.1 seconds up the road though, so it's not looking too good for him. Kent's in, Ballinger's in. Newton's gonna take the lead by a long way, I think, as well. Yeah, so really the question's going to come down to whether or not it's going to be one stop or it's going to need two from Scott Newton. I have to say, he was only 8 seconds back by the time they pitted in. Even if he needed another stop, I feel like he could probably close the gap, make a good race out of this. Marcheski, after his pit stop as well, obviously very quick at the start of this race, got some damage, in second place. Been putting in good lap times, 1:34.2 the last time as well. So if it is easy on fuel, then and they can do it on one stop, then Vladimir's in a very strong position right now as well. See where Ballinger is after his pits. His teammates a lot closer. 15 second stop for Tim, 14.4 seconds for Osborne. So Osborne's had a pretty good stop there, but Kevin and Kent was 12.6 and 13.4. So very quick stops from those guys as well. Pack is very close together again, and I dare say, Scott Newton into the pits again. So he's going for a two stop. And the guys are going to definitely be able to one-stop this, so I think he's going to lose about 14.1 seconds stop for Scott there, so going to come out right in this pack actually. Here we go. Going to be exciting for the final 16 laps of the race, just to see if he can work his way through. Ducks in behind Kevin and just ahead of Kent. I think Vladimir's probably going to pit in every 3 or 4 laps time. Wait a couple of laps after his accident to go into the pits. Currently got a 13.5 second lead. So from Scott's stop there though, you're going to need about 20-25 seconds to come out ahead. Going to be where is he going to come out? He's going to be close to, well, he's in. Well, we'll see exactly where he's going to come out, I think. A shame actually, he had great pace. Comes Ballinger, we can hear him focused on Chevsky. Still streaming by, they're getting closer and closer. Oh, it's way down, it's going to be just ahead of Stephen, I think. It is, you can hear Stephen coming as well. Oh, look at this battle! Newton round the outside of Osborne. Kevin's trying to follow him around. Osborne couldn't hold on to it, loses 2 places on that straight. That's great from Newton, we know how quick he is. Now if these guys behind have got any sense, I would say that they just let Scott drag them up to Tim and we'll have a 5-car battle for the lead. Gap is about 3 seconds and the rate Scott's catching is going to be maybe 4 or 5 laps, I think, and he'll be there. We're going to have about 9 or 8 lap shootout for the race win. Kevin not very confident through that second part of the infield section, loses a bit of ground. Osborne's got a good run, he wants to go and go quickly, he knows that he needs to keep up with Scott. It's the battling I was saying they don't need to do. Kevin ducks back into the slipstream. While they're defending like that, they're not drafting up to Scott, so I'm not sure why I quite follow that. There's an opportunity for those guys to win the race just by using the draft there and consistently battling and defending and moving off of line. And yes, you want to hold on to your position or you want to gain one, but the long game sometimes. 1.1 seconds now. Look at the gap already, actually 1.2 seconds to the leader, so in a lap really Scott's half that margin. It was 133.9 the last lap for him and a 135.7 for Ballinger, so nearly 2 seconds. It was 0.4 of a second he was closing up earlier on, but Ballinger's pace seems to have dropped down all of a sudden. 0.5 seconds Osborne's behind, he's just not going to get enough draft. Dare say Kevin's going to give him a bit of a fight as well. That's going to be those dropped off the slipstream. All that those 3 drivers can hope for behind. But Tim puts up a big fight. Nice battle that goes on. Said time and time again, catching is one thing, passing is another. If you can defend that inside line and brake as late as you can, it's going to be very, very difficult. Ken Walker had a couple of issues, I think, in this lap as well. He's dropped himself back off of battle for the final podium position. Say that they are closing back up, and this is why Newton trying to go around the outside. Tim's not going to let that happen. Not there. Osborne 1.1 seconds back. Here we go then. This is what we've been waiting for. Wondered if we were going to see this. Scott has done a 2-stopper. Gets the run up the inside. He's going to have to be late on the brakes. Oh, Ballinger's trying to hold it around there, but just can't quite stick it there. Newton's too quick. Had the preferred line. He's away, but what we do have now is all 4 cars close behind. Walker just dropping off, just all of a sudden, just seems to have nothing. Osborne with a great that last time by as well, 133.7, his fastest of the race so far. What can Tim do about Scott? Anything? I think he just needs to try and stay with him through the infield section and make sure that fast down the straights, give anything away, tucks right into that draft, stays with him. Maybe an opening will pop up towards the end of the race. Kevin all of a sudden dropping off this pack as well. Seems like the tyres are perhaps seen better days out there now and drivers are struggling a little bit. Tim very, very quick there on the straight, definitely has enough speed to be able to make a move if he can get close enough coming out of the final corner. On 33.9 for Scott, 34.2 for Tim. Osborne with a 133.9 as well. And yeah, Kevin 134.8, so really struggling. Lost 9/10 of a second on the back of Osborne that last time by. Walker now in the 35s, really struggling. Lost the draft, and with that, any chance of a win here today. Scott gets straight drive out of that corner. Difference in speed. Is the draft in full effect? You can already see difference. 6 or 7 kilometers an hour difference. Enough to close in 2/3 of a second. Be a bit more. Down this back straight, yeah, I already see it coming into play as well there, so probably more of an impact down here in terms of when you really start to notice it. They exit the center S at a much higher speed. Not much going on elsewhere on the track. Newton, Ballinger, Osborne, Kevin dropping back. Walker dropped even further back. Marchewski now 11 seconds back in 6th place. Stephen in 7th. Jarvis followed by Sartano, rounding out your top 9. With the leader, I stick with him for a lap and just take us around this Lagos circuit. Center S, probably one of the most famous corners. Great circuit, Interlagos as well. Obviously that turn 1 just been reprofiled a little bit with the runoff area and the pit lane slightly different. Turn 4, massive wide curb. Scott using all of it. You got to watch the off track there on the AstroTurf. Very small margin of error. Also the curb does get the car a little bit loose. Do the long right hander. Want to get on the power so much earlier. Use all the curbing on the left and on the right as well. Scott using some of the rumble area as well, just to the inside of the curb. Camber through that hairpin there really does sort of help you get the car rotated on the power early. Again, use the curb on the right there just to help pull the car around. one of the trickiest corners on any race circuit, flat out in a lot of cars, but so easy to get it a little bit loose through there, overheat the tyres, makes the final corner there even more tricky. Scott's done a great lap here as well, actually. Nailed pretty much every apex. See what the lap time is as he crosses the line. .134.1, so good time from him. Tim behind, exactly the same speed. Right, he's 1.2 seconds back, coming under pressure from his teammate. They've completely dropped the Ferrari of Kevin. Hung there behind. Walker's trying to close back in on Kevin, but just can't do it. Well and truly into the 135s now. Tyres are shot for Kent out there. Ballinger 1.3 seconds back now. That gap is slowly starting to build. It's getting less and less effective, the draft. Come onto the main straight again. 8 laps remaining. Do you really think at this point it's two teammates are just trying everything they can to hold on to Scott? Another 133.5 for Scott Newton, absolutely flying. 134.1 for Ballinger. Another 0.6 of a second. Just no holding on to that sort of pace. Osborne, I'm sure, is going to have a look and a go on his teammate at some point. Trying to... sure he's giving him the laps just to see if he can reel back in Newton. Slightly better lap from him. Catches a bit too much curb there. What's happened to Osborne? Must have been some sort of slowdown or something. 2.3 seconds back. Quick look, see what that was. No problems here. Not any corner there. Self out of shape. Must have had a corner cut penalty there, because that's really where he's lost all the time. He's just hit on up, and like he is serving a black flag there. So yeah, it just didn't look that bad. Drivers take way more than that as well. Fortunately, the predictive code can be a bit quirky. Yeah, you're on these on the servers to the high pings. What that has done is it's really opened it up. Oh, what's going on here? While we were looking at that replay, it's been a switch for the lead. Oh, here we go. We just get a little clip of what happened. Newton making a mistake into turn 1. Opens the door for Ballinger to get a draft. Struggling a little bit with his tyres out there. Overheat them into turn 1. Jump back live. Got two little groups that are fighting here. So you've got Newton, Ballinger. Here comes Kevin round the outside of Hamilton. Sorry, Osborne. No answer whatsoever. There's issues, major issues for Aaron. Is it fuel? Could be fuel. Drop him back anyway. Marcheski's closing in on Kent Walker too. We'll stick with the lead battle for the moment until that gets a bit closer. Walker's flying up behind Osborne as well, so Osborne's got some major problems out there. Whether it's fuel or damage, I'm not sure. I would guess it's fuel. Race really is remarkably close, all the way down to 6th place, just 11 seconds separating them. Been a struggle for Fuji and the Grand Prix 247.com series to really get the numbers up. So many people put their name down, not turned up for the races. Very unfortunate, but it's been a really great series. Newton jinx to the left. The run late on the brakes, so doesn't overcook it like he did on that lap where he lost his tyres. Be okay, and he is indeed. Marchevsky suddenly finds himself in 4th place. I'm going to need to find out what happened there. That was 2 places in one straight here. We're on board with him now. In fact, let's stay on board as well. Osborne struggling, as we know. Walker there moves to the outside. A great run for Marchevsky for the outside of 1. Ducks to the inside as well. Absolutely perfect amount of draft you want there. Gets the position. That's a great move. Full of confidence. He had a lot of pace earlier on as well. Great to see him back up and into 4th place. He's not going to close into Kevin as we jump back live. Front 2 still having a good little battle. Four laps to go here at Interlagos, the Grand Prix 247.com final series. Of course, the championship is wrapped up already. Take a very quick look, point situation, and see how these results will affect anything. Vladimir obviously just moved himself up above Kent Walker again, so that pretty much keeps those two as they were in the championship, 2nd and 3rd. Anderson's not here. Hamilton's not here either. No Stokes. Fuji might move up a couple of places. That's it. So actually, as it is, where everybody's going to finish, if it stays as it is now, there's no real change. It really came down to Vladimir and Kent, the battle for 2nd in the championship. Kent's tyres are gone. Really been struggling 35s for some time now. You can see there he's just got no traction coming out the corners. Osborne, even with the fuel saving, still able to close in. Ballinger back to a 2nd now. They cross the line. Oh, just slight overshoot at the corner there for Walker. Not going to help his cause. Gaining an awful lot of time on the straights. But for a moment, if anything, it'd be Osborne. Doing it, I'm pretty sure he's just conserving fuel, trying to get it to the end. Sudden that close battles now, separated by a second. Same goes for the leaders as well, 1.2 seconds. Got a retirement out there, unfortunately. Fuji's pulled into the pits, tied the car. Yeah, with the slipstream advantage. Gaining a tenth or so is Tim from that far back. Needs 2 laps of his life, I think, if he's going to close in. Newton a 33.9, so still in the 33s. Great pace from him. Oh, we've got a problem. Kevin hung into the pits. Kevin can't make it. What's going on there? Is that just short field again? Little splash and dash. We did see him come in with on lap, I think it was it 16? It was just 1 lap short of 50%, wasn't it? So he can't make it as well. That puts Marchewski up to 3rd place now. Certainly will be able to make it. Tim Ballinger, we know, is good. Osborne is fuel saving, I'm pretty sure, and that's why he came in a lap early as well, didn't he? So I mean, he's literally just trundling round now. He's not given up a whole pit stop in saving this amount of fuel, but it's not far off of it. Kevin's only 8 seconds back, and of course they were battling, so 136 the last time by, so at best Kevin's only going to get to about 4 seconds back, but really does just look like Aaron's just coasting now. Is he going to be able to? I think he's going to have to pit this time. Have a look. Really, he's trying everything he can. At this rate, that gap's going to come down before the end of the race. Sometimes it's better just to pit than try and save the fuel. Still trying to make it round. Look at how much time he's losing though. It's not going to happen. Kevin's going to come steaming past. Absolutely the wrong decision to try and save fuel. Just pit. Back at full pace. So from experience, trying to conserve fuel. Watkins Glen wants just to eke out a lap, and I just couldn't do it. In the end, I had to pit with 1 lap to go, and of course I lost 8 or 9 seconds trying to save fuel as well. Ballinger 1.4 seconds from our race leader. That's Kent Walker, is it? No, it's Jarvis, sorry. Jarvis also running out on fumes there. So Ballinger made it on the 1 stop. Very impressive from him. Did all the hard work in the first stint there, I think, really. Made it to the end, but congratulations, Scott Newton. 2-stopped it to perfection. Wins the race here at Interlagos. Final round of the Grand Prix 247.com. Also takes the championship. Jarvis having a bit of fun. Marchewski comes across with a podium at the end of that. I tell you, after he got clobbered in turn 1, I bet he thought that wasn't going to be possible. Of course, Marchewski holds on to 2nd place in the championship, followed by Kent Walker. Toro Rosso, I dare say, will move up some places here No signs of Jaguar. Sauber, of course, score well. They will move up into second place in the championship as well. Toro Rosso may find themselves in third. It's going to be tough to have jumped Jag, but they might well get there as well. Here comes Osborne. There you go. It makes so little sense to have tried to have saved the fuel. Finds himself 6th place. He will cross the start-finish line, and he has done. But yes, all the way down. Place. Could have easily had a podium here today. Even with pitting, I think, would have been pretty close. Certainly would have had about 4th, I think. Same for Osborne. But congratulations to Scott. See if we can't just have a quick word with our race winner as well. See, proves that he's got plenty of fuel on board and takes us around a victory lap. Congratulations, Scott. Well, won the race today. You'd already wrapped up the championship, but nice way to end the season.
Yeah, hey Alex, thanks for that. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think I'd be able to close up that deficit after the fact that I got a jump start penalty. So I had to pit on lap 3, I think it was, to avoid getting another penalty on top of that. So yeah, basically after that, there was pretty much 33 qualifying laps just to close up the gap.
We did wonder what happened at the start. Makes all the sense now as well. And yeah, so I mean, were you always going to 2-stop it, or did you know you could 1-stop?
To be honest, I think it would have been very borderline. I had about 12.5 litres in the tank when I had the penalty, so I thought I might as well top it up. And thankfully, I was able to get to end of lap 20, and I saw that the other guys in front of me were pitting on lap 17 or lap 18, so it was sort of very much on the edge of a 1-stop versus a 2-stop. So yeah, it was. Thankfully, I actually took the fuel rather than having to have to pit again, because that would have cost me about 20 seconds or something like that. So it would have been a very different result.
It was only Tim. Well, Aaron obviously got across the line, but was terribly slow on the last lap, so he ran out of fuel. Stephen might have done it on 1-stop as well. So yeah, really, only one really, Tim, maintain it and keep pace as well. So yeah, I think in the end it's probably the right call. Made the race exciting for us anyway, watching you slowly close that gap down, wondering what was going to go on if they were 1-stopping or 2, how it was going to pan out, and in the end, yeah, nice little victory.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to end with a victory to cap off the season. Yeah, I just also want to thank Fuji for putting on a great series as well. It's been really good. I really hope that the participation picks up next season. It's a really great series, and yeah, it's should be good for the next one.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Has put a lot of work into the series. Just a shame, really. It's not been adopted. Hopefully, we might get like Formula Renault 2.0 or something that could take the place of Star Mazda new series. You know, everyone will be raring for a new car. Don't know if it'll be out for next season. Probably not. I haven't heard anything, but yeah, maybe that's where it goes. What's your thoughts about why we didn't quite grab the participation? I mean, the sign-ups were immense. But we're going to have loads of cars on, but then when it bottled down to it, we just didn't see anyone. What's your thoughts as to why?
My thoughts on the reason why we may have seen less participation is mainly due to the fact that there were certain clashes with other either hosted series or Blancpain Endurance series, which for the Aussie split runs at exactly the same time as this. So that's probably mainly the reason why there was less participation. Obviously pre-planning and all that sort of thing.
Very difficult for him.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the Blancpain being announced in July, August, and this was see what will happen in the future. But you always have to sort of account for that, I suppose. Plan probably March, April. It's all very hard to see what will happen in the future, but you always have to sort of account for that, I suppose.
Awesome, right, well thanks mate. Anyone want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go? Drink the champagne, enjoy the victory and the championship win.
Yeah, no problem, Alex. I'd like to thank the Apex Racing Academy, also to Apex Racing UK, for all the support that I've had over the past year. It certainly worked for me. Also to the sponsors, Leo Bodner, Sim Steering, Precision Sim Engineering, and to GTM Mega, and also to our SRA for putting on a great series.
Awesome, thanks Scott. Congratulations again, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you season.
No problem. Cheers, Alex.
Alright guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Final round, and yeah, congratulations again to Scott. Great race from Tim out there. Give it everything on the one stop. Just come home, just a little bit short. Vladimir, great result, fighting his way back. And yeah, gonna be good. Hopefully we will see another season, just with a couple of little amendments, and yeah, we'll see those grids pick back up. Hard work sometimes getting a league going, but that's about all we've got time for, guys, I'm afraid. So I'm going to wrap the show up, but thanks very much for tuning in, those that watched it back on YouTube all the way to the end. We appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like and the share button, and we will hopefully see you back for a second season of the Grand Prix 247.com series here on iRacing and Apex Racing TV.